Live from our studios at One Television Plaza, this is your Mid-Ohio Valley Afternoon Brief.
Good afternoon, Mid-Ohio Valley, and thanks for joining us for this afternoon brief. I'm Andrew Knoll.
And I'm Jason Levielle, and Andrew, it's raining.
I know, it's all your fault. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's not been pleasant, though.
Right off the bat today. You're feeling feisty today, aren't you?
Yeah, I know. I'm back today after not feeling too great yesterday, and I'm feisty. I'm ready to get right into this.
Well, unfortunately, there's a lot more rain ahead of us, but at least the majority of it, I think, is going to be today. Although we are under a first alert weather day that lasts through Wednesday afternoon due to that widespread rain, possibly causing some localized flash flooding. But for the moment, a lot of that rain is mostly on the light to moderate side. There is some heavy rain moving towards the Mid-Ohio Valley, and we'll continue to see that move through off and on throughout the rest of the evening and for most of the morning on Wednesday. Now, we're currently in those mid-50s at the moment, winds coming in at about 10 miles an hour from the south-southwest, which is why we've seen a bit of an increase in temperatures compared to what we were seeing yesterday, and that's pretty similar across the region. We're on the warmer end of that scale of what we're seeing across both Ohio and West Virginia, and throughout the rest of the evening we're expecting to stay through the 50s through the night tonight and into tomorrow, partially due to the thick clouds and the rain that's coming in with it. I'll have more details on the specifics of what we're looking at for the rain this evening and the several days of rain we're looking at coming up the rest of this week.
Well, I will say, Jason, you did give us a little sunshine and warmth on Saturday, so I think we're all very grateful for that. Obviously, a little bit colder on Sunday, and then, now we've gotten the rain, but it is warming up. It's starting to trend in an upward direction, so you got to be excited for that.
Yes, and we're bringing 70 to the Mid-Ohio Valley at the end of the week, so I am looking forward to that, even though it will still be a little rainy, just not as rainy as we've been seeing today.
Absolutely, Jason. Well, let's take a look at some of our local stories going on here today. Drivers in the Mid-Ohio Valley could see higher prices at the pump in the coming days and weeks as conflict in Iran adds uncertainty to an already rising market. AAA East Central Director of Public Affairs Jim Garrity says gas prices were already trending upward before the latest tensions, driven by the seasonal switch from winter to summer blend gasoline. Garrity says while the U.S. does not import Iranian oil directly, all eyes are on the Strait of Hormuz, a critical shipping lane for global oil supply. Any disruption there could send ripple effects across world markets.
Oil being a globally traded commodity can be impacted by a variety of things, but when you have the situation you're looking at now, the uncertainty behind it, that could have an impact at the pump. What that impact is going to be at this point kind of remains to be seen. Maybe we'll have a clearer picture of that in the days ahead.
He says prices don't usually spike overnight, but advises drivers to budget accordingly. He says exactly how high prices could go remains unclear.
Well, sticking with the driving theme here in the Mid-Ohio Valley and back to the rain in the forecast through the rest of the week, Wood County authorities are reminding drivers to slow down and give themselves extra time on the roads, and I'm going to say that to myself. Mike Deem, Chief Deputy of the Wood County Sheriff's Department, says wet pavement reduces tire grip. Drivers should treat rainy conditions with the same caution they would ice or snow. Authorities say the most important steps are simple. Turn your headlights on whenever your wipers are running, leave extra following distance, and above all, slow down. Deem shares the steps drivers should take if they lose control of their vehicle on slick roads.
If your rear end kicks out on you, general rule of thumb is to steer into which way you're going, okay? And take your foot off the gas. You don't want to, if your car's sliding, hitting the brakes a lot of times is the worst thing you can do. Take your foot off the gas, let it slow down, it'll regain traction, then you can maintain control of your car.
Deem says that the same advice applies whether roads are wet or icy. He adds that drivers who are in a hurry should simply leave earlier, not drive faster. And that definitely is going to be the case for tonight, especially since we're looking at even heavier rain later this evening for a bit of a longer period of time. So there also could be, water collecting on the roads. We're going to add to what Chief Deem says and say, if you run into a road that is covered by water and you can't see a road, turn around, don't drive through it.
Absolutely. And you know, with these kind of conditions, I know as our meteorologists here, are we looking at maybe potential floods in the future if we get enough rain here, because it's going to rain all week?
We are under a flood watch. For the moment, we're not looking at anything widespread like the Ohio River having any major issues, but that is something we have in mind and we'll keep an eye on as we go further. But it really all depends on how heavy the rain is and where it develops.
Right, that makes sense.
If it starts developing a little bit farther to the north around the Pittsburgh area, that's where we'll see a lot of that travel down the Ohio River. We may see that rise. But at the moment, we're not looking at any major river flooding at the moment, just isolated spots, and especially on flood-prone roads. So areas like one that I know is pretty prone to flooding around Guyon Road in South Parkersburg. That's the only one that comes to my mind immediately. So.
Right. Well, it's definitely important to be safe out there, especially if you are seeing puddles like Jason mentioned, or bigger forms, bodies of water on the road. We don't want to be driving through them and put you guys in danger. But let's stick with the topic of cars here, as the West Virginia Racing Heritage Festival is hosting its 49th annual car show at the Grand Central Mall this week. President of the WV Racing Heritage Festival, Ashley Ness, says the stock show will feature 45 display spots with the opportunity to vote for your favorite driver. Ness says the festival emphasizes preservation of the Ohio Valley racing heritage, particularly from Pennsboro Speedway, the state's oldest fairgrounds where racing has occurred since the late 1920s.
Come to one of the local tracks and you'll want to get into it. That's all there is to it. The excitement's there, the camaraderie's there, the people in the pits are always nice. 90% of the drivers are all about the fans, and without the fans, the tracks don't survive. To come on out and pick their favorite car. We're doing a pick your favorite car or your favorite driver, and bring a canned good out. You can vote for your driver with the canned good, and then all the canned goods that we collect this week here go to the community in Parkersburg.
The car show will be held from March 2nd to the 8th. The Heritage Festival's main event is scheduled for May 30th at Pennsboro Speedway, featuring vintage race cars and driver interviews. Jason, this is pretty cool. I've been to this event in the mall before, and it's always cool to see all the different kind of race cars that people can check out, and there's lots of different drivers, you know, doing this as well.
And when I was younger, I was a fan like NASCAR. I know that's completely very different, but I've only recently been exposed to the kind of racing heritage that's around here, especially at the dirt tracks. I've only been to them once, mainly because of timing, but it was when I was doing a story on a former NASCAR legend that was at I believe it was the Ohio Valley Speedway to the south of Parkersburg.
If I remember correctly, I believe it was Ken Schrader.
Yes, I was blanking on the name. Thank you for reminding me.
My NASCAR mind came. I know our director who's listening to this right now, Austin's a big NASCAR guy, so I'm sure he will give me my kudos after this for remembering Ken Schrader from back in the day.
But it's definitely, the one time I was there, you could definitely see a lot of it was about the fans, and it very much felt like a hometown event rather than a big city, big stadium type thing. So it was definitely fun to see, even though I didn't actually get to see any of the races because I was working and I had to get back to the station.
Right, but it's really cool to see how much the community, this is something that really hits home with them. This is something that they love racing, and it's something that I think has grown on a lot of us that aren't from here originally. You're from North Carolina, I'm from New Jersey, so racing maybe not as big of a thing in our cultures up there, but coming down here, I definitely think that
NASCAR's huge in North Carolina. It's like one of the big states for it.
I would say maybe not New Jersey as much, but North Carolina, yes,
North Carolina
you're probably right.
Very much is.
I would say you're probably right in that instance, but seeing the dirt track racing and stuff, I've seen it once or twice, the events, I've been out and checked it out, and it's really cool. So it is definitely worthwhile if you were able to get a Friday night or a Saturday night sometime in the near future, because races are going to be happening again this year at the Pennsboro Speedway. So super exciting time here in the Mid-Ohio Valley.
And hopefully it'll stop raining.
Yes, for sure.
Now we're going to leave this planet and head back into space, as NASA says it found a galaxy that might have more dark matter than any ever discovered. Ooh. Scientists say the Hubble Space Telescope detected what they're calling Candidate Dark Galaxy 2. They think it might be made of at least 99.9% dark matter. That matter is invisible, but researchers have ways of inferring it's there. It's really cool. I like
that is really cool.
Anytime any of these discoveries are made when it comes to space, I'm like, ooh, shiny. And I just get distracted from whatever I'm doing. So when you said that earlier today, because I hadn't seen it, I was like, yay.
It's always kind of funny too, because like when I think of like dark matter, I kind of think of, I know they're not related, but like dark magic. I feel like when we were younger, you'd hear like those kinds of people talk about dark matter in movies and stuff, but it wasn't really talking about the galaxy. It wasn't talking about these things. So the fact that it exists and it's completely invisible and it's something that we pretty much do not see, but that, you know, they kind of know it's there. I think it's incredible that they found this and are able to even get us an image.
Well, hopefully it gets confirmed. At least it's just an image for now, but who knows what it will look like in the future.
Absolutely. Well, when we return Mid-Ohio Valley, Jason will have a look at your full forecast. Stay with us.
Now, here's your first alert weather update with meteorologist Jason Levielle.
The rest of the day today and through at least the first half of Wednesday is currently a first alert weather day due to the rain that is currently moving through the region. Some of this could be some heavy rain that could cause a little bit of localized flash flooding across the region, though we're not expecting anything widespread at the moment. Temperatures at the moment are at around those mid-50s. You can see kind of the rain on the Jandale Skycam in Marietta falling through the region as we've kind of picked up in its pace in the last hour or so, but temperatures are still holding steady, mostly around those mid-50s, and we'll stay in these 50s through the rest of the evening. But we can definitely see more of that rain moving through the area, some heavy rain getting ready to at least move through Marietta and Parkersburg. And even though it looks a little bit thinner off to the west, this kind of area of rain is basically lined up with the Mid-Ohio Valley. So we are expecting more as we head through the rest of the evening tonight. Temperatures are expected to stay in those mid to low 50s throughout the night tonight and into tomorrow, but it's basically rain all day, all night, and at least through most of the morning. Looking specifically at the kind of rain we're looking at, we'll see more heavy rain pick up as we head further into this evening. After about sunset, we'll see a lot of that pick up, heavier rain moving through the area for about several hours through the region, and then we'll start seeing things start to move a little bit to the south as we head into Wednesday morning. But it will be a gradual shift to the south when it comes to that heavy rain. So we're still looking at a lot of rain accumulation as we head into the next couple of days before things start to at least dry out a little bit during the afternoon on Wednesday. And of course, we're looking at even more later this week, possibly a few thunderstorms throughout the day on Thursday and more heavy rain moving through the region as well. So it's, even though we're focusing on on tonight and tomorrow, we're still keeping an eye on the rest of this week when it comes to that rain. For the rain total estimates for the next couple of days, we're looking at anywhere between 1 to 2 inches for tonight into tomorrow, and then maybe upwards of another 1 to 2 inches for the Thursday round as well. But we're still, like I said, keeping an eye on this, and we do have that flood watch in effect through Wednesday at 1 p.m. across most of the Mid-Ohio Valley because of that heavy rain. So if you do see a road that is flooded, turn around, don't drown, don't drive through it. And you may also see some creeks and rivers rise a little bit due to that potential round of rain or some of the heavy rain moving through the region as well. But we're not expecting anything widespread right now. But we are going to keep an eye on that as we go through the rest of the week, getting into those upper 60s by Thursday, 70s Friday and Saturday, then a slight cool off heading into next week when things on the rain side look to start calming down just a little bit. Back to you, Andrew.
All right, thank you for your report, Jason. Joining us now to tell us more about what stories we're working on for today is our Jawan Allen. Jawan, thanks for joining us, and tell us what we're cooking up for today in the newsroom.
Well, as always, thanks for having me. Good afternoon.
Always.
So, I'm going to highlight some 3 stories we have. So earlier today, I actually went over to the Copeland Health Systems, which they are looking to construct some new facilities.
Great.
Thanks to a $1.5 million monies that came from a congressionally directed spending from Senator Capito. Now this went all to some rural health systems, and what the Copeland Health Systems are planning to do is build a new facility and add some other community center type activities in there. And they're an integrated health facility. So they're covering everything from primary care all the way to a pharmacy, classes, mental health. They're going to be doing it all.
A lot of great things.
Yeah, so they're going to have that. So that'll be out this afternoon or this evening. Next, we have Chase Campbell has spoke with a DoorDasher who narrowly misses a sophisticated scam.
Wow.
Now, I know it's very difficult to spot these scams sometimes. Sometimes they're blatant, but this one we have coming up, it would have been easy to fall into.
Right.
I've almost been scammed myself when it comes to, I had a bank call me, my bank call me, same number, caller ID, whole 9 yards, and I almost gave them all my personal information. So
it's crazy these days how crazy scams are and how believable they are, especially with AI, artificial intelligence, and all these different things coming into play. Scams can be very scary.
They're doing a good job at it. Good, bad job, right? Last story here. West Virginia House is to vote on a statewide camping ban. This is 5319, this is the law. Now this faces some criticism. This is going to ban public camping. Well, who does that really affect? That's going to affect the homeless population potentially. So there has been some criticism over there on that law. Also, it will criminalize camping and potentially face a fine or even jail time. So we're going to find out if that's going to go through. But as of right now, that's what I have.
All right, perfect, Jawan. Thank you so much for joining us. And that'll do it for your afternoon brief here in Mid-Ohio Valley. Thanks for tuning in with us, and we hope to see you all here tonight during our newscast. See you later.